Hello friends, welcome to Law Excellence Mains Answer Writing Session. Today we will be discussing the question that was posted on 11th of December. So friends, on 11th of December, we had asked you a question regarding Panchayati Raj system. So the question read like this. In absence of a well-educated and organized local level government system, panchayats and samitis have remained mainly political institutions and not effective instruments of governance. Critically discuss. So you have to look at both the arguments posed in favor of this and arguments posed against. As the question is asking you to critically discuss, this is where we ask you to be very cautious about the dissection part of the answer. Dissection involves the key word that is being asked in the question, whether it is critically discuss or comment or discuss or elaborate or other forms of question makings. So please remember that you have to frame your answer on 5 basic layouts like dissection, then localization, then you add up scenario, then you add value, and you finally conclude. Okay, so your answer should be framed on these grounds. Just to give you a sample answer with this, we'll be proceeding. Here, as you can see, we have used the localization where we started with panchayats and samitis, their importance as third tier of governance, and then we mentioned that they represent the grassroots level participatory democracy. At the same time, they have to let them function efficiently. There is a need for enlightened leadership. Okay, so your introduction should be in a systematic, and interconnected manner. Your both 2 to 3 sentences that you write in your introduction should be interconnected. After reading your first sentence, it should give an overview of what you are perhaps going to write. Friends, then going after with the main body of this question, you had to mention the reasons that are being cited in for the minimum educational qualifications for panchayats and the reasons that are being posed against that. So here, as you can see, for minimum educational qualifications, it is being said that people, if a minimum educational qualification is made mandatory, then it will enable them by having more scientific knowledge, and with this scientific knowledge, they will be more equipped to take up e-governance things, to understand information and communication technologies, to understand new forms of evolving governance. So all those new forms of governance that are emerging because of rapid advances in society, that can be understood only by a person who is at least having some minimum educational qualifications. Okay, so these are the arguments being posed in favor of having a minimum educational qualification for panchayat level people, for sarpanch, or for people who participate in decision making at village level. At the same time, illiteracy cannot be used as an excuse. Many a times we find that people say that they were not aware of such provisions, and that is why they manipulate things to their own advantages by citing unawareness as an excuse. And as I said, acquaintance with ICT, e-governance, and fighting against social evils will be easier as people who are more educated, they already have some sort of social conditioning regarding these social evils, and they are much more enabled to take action against them. But at the same time, they do have some drawbacks. Such provisions of minimum qualifications have some drawbacks. First is as it is highly exclusionary. Looking at present India's condition, a lot of people in remote villages and other places, they don't have the basic education. If we put up a minimum educational qualification, perhaps a vast section of society, say around, there are reports in Haryana that if such a thing is implemented, around 70 to 80% of Dalit people will be disqualified at the start itself from contesting elections. A lot of women who are not educated, they will not be even allowed to participate in elections. So in that way, it is highly exclusionary because they don't stand for the basic criteria. So a lot of people who have even a desire to work for participatory governance, they will be excluded because of this. Second thing, it is highly elitist in nature. In Indian villages, hardly few people, they pursue studies. And people who have money, power, and other sort of social influence, caste wise, if they are powerful, only these people and other things, they have a sort of hegemony where only these people have studied and they have completed their higher studies. So if we go for this minimum educational qualification, we will be leaving away a vast major section of society which is not elitist, okay, which has not got the benefits of education, or schooling was not available in their villages. Because of that thing, they remain secluded. Because of these issues, this minimum educational qualification criteria is being opposed. And third thing, there is no such precedent. As you know, even for MP, MLA, governors and other things, this criteria has not been followed. In their cases, there a different set of arguments have been posed away. So since these are constitutional positions, and if this can be held by people who don't have minimum educational criteria, then why is it necessary to implement on local governance? So these are the arguments that are being posed against the minimum educational qualifications. So friends, that's all you had to answer in critically discuss. You can cite examples and add value to your answer by giving examples of any example of Rajasthan or Haryana where they have implemented these minimum educational qualifications criteria, and or you can add value to your question by citing any one particular person who, despite being uneducated, has added value to his own villages or achieved something significant. So you can say such examples and then proceed towards conclusion. In conclusion, you have to have a very balanced view. Don't be very radical, and end everything on an optimistic note. This is my thing I always say in my videos, that you have to be very optimistic, or if you criticize, you have to constructively criticize things. Don't be very, very blunt, and adamant towards any particular view or opinion that you take in. So here, as you can see, that we have also said that it is not only the lack of education, but also the inability of states to adequately empower. So states have also failed to empower people. So it's a fault on the state side also. So we need a balanced and inclusive approach towards a final solution. And these things will all take time. But this is how you should structure your answer. And these are all just sample answers. Your answers could have been better than us, could have been varied than us. Okay. But it is just to give you a structure and a format so that you keep on practicing answers and you don't deviate from the basic guidelines that we have said you. So friends, that's all for today. We'll meet another time. Till then, goodbye, take care, and keep posting answers on our portal. Thank you.